up the mailbag today because I got a really great question come in last week, and it's from Faith, and she says, I just get confused whenever I look at calorie counting. I did this once before and I found that I stopped going out to eat, which was probably not a bad thing, which you're right, but I got depressed because that was my social time. I never knew how to pick foods in a restaurant to keep within my calories, or I found it easier to eat the same things all the time, but of course just got bored. So now, to be honest, when anyone talks about calories, I get anxiety. Faith, this is such a good question, like a seriously great question. There is a bit of a backlash about calorie counting these days. Some people say you don't need to do it. Some people say that you need to be doing it. I must admit, I've done both sides of it, and I am a supporter of calorie counting, simply because it seems to be the most effective way to not only help you to lose your weight, but to help you to understand your portion sizes. If you've been overweight for a prolonged period of time, your portion sizes are all out of whack, especially here in North America. When we're at restaurants, our portion, there's usually well over 4 or 5 portions in a single meal. So you don't even know what portions mean anymore. Calorie counting does help you, and tracking your food in general helps you to understand portion control. That being said, you do not have to stop having a social life just because you're counting your calories. Now, do I suggest maybe trying to find a social activity that's outside of going out to the restaurants? Of course, but I also live in the real world, and I'm sure most of your friends don't engage in the same healthier behaviors that you're trying to engage in now. So there will be times when you're going to go out to the restaurants. But there are some really simple things that you can do to make sure that you can still have a good time, eat some good food, and still keep within your calorie ranges. One, most chain restaurants and big restaurants have the nutritional content on their website. So all you need to do is type in such and such a restaurant, Big Juicy Burgers restaurant, nutritional guide, and just look it up. If it's there, great. All you need to do is look down the menu, figure out what it is that you want to eat, and you have the calories right there, and you can track it before you even go. If you use a digital tracker, which I highly recommend, especially free ones like Spark People or MyFitnessPal, I've used them both with great success, they'll have had other people who've already pre-programmed that meal into the database. So you don't have to, normally you won't have to input it manually, you just need to find it and put it on your day. So you can go that route. If it doesn't have a nutritional count or a nutritional menu, don't worry about it. You don't need to be so obsessive when it comes to calorie counting. Do I think you should try to be as accurate as possible? Yes. But just try to even go 80% of the time. If you can track your calories 80% of the time, you'll be fine. But it's even more important for you to just track your food. Even without the calorie counting, just tracking your food is really going to help you stay accountable and see how much you're eating. So if the restaurant does not have a nutrition guide, usually they'll have still the menu online. You can look at the menu, find out what the healthiest options are. So you want to look at things that are baked, not fried. You don't want things that are sauteed because it's usually heavily sauteed in oil, so you might want to go with something steamed, things like that. My rule of thumb is that if you think of the food and it feels heavy, then you probably don't want to eat much of it, if at all. But if it feels light, if it sounds light, then that's what you want to go with. So a big heavy steak with mashed potatoes and gravy, it feels like you can picture what it feels like when you eat it and you feel heavy. But if you have steamed vegetables with some brown rice and some tilapia, that feels light. Like when you think about eating it, you feel lighter. That's what you want to go with. I kind of go with feel if you're really not certain. Same with salad dressings. Really, you don't want anything creamy. In pastas, don't get anything creamy. Go with something that's light. Tomato sauces, balsamic vinegars. Again, you're thinking light. Does it taste heavy or does it taste light? If it tastes light, go for it. So you can go before you head out to the restaurant, if they have the menu, and you can figure out what the healthiest thing is, and you can track it that way. And you can just write it down. Just write it down what you're going to eat so that it's down there. And this is the same goes for if you go to a family dinner or to a friend's house. Don't worry if that you don't know the nutritional content. All right? Just eat the healthiest you can. Indulge in something. It's a special occasion. You are allowed to indulge in something. Just don't eat a lot of it. Maybe share a dessert if you're out for dinner, or just have whatever they say, whatever they try to give you for the slice of cake. Always just say, oh, just half of that. Like, just go down a little bit. It's okay to indulge. We're trying to create a healthy lifestyle here. Okay, it's a lifestyle for a reason. You're not going to stay on track all the time. Just do the best you can. Think 80% of the time. If you can track your calories 80% of the time, the other 20% isn't going to matter as much. One indulgent meal is not going to derail your plans for the rest of the week. So lighten up. It took me a long time to realize this, but lighten up a little bit. If you don't know what the nutritional content is, make the decision. Do you want to eat it? Do you not want to eat it? If you really want to eat it, write it down on paper. Don't worry about the nutritional content. Just write down what you're eating. That's all you need to do. This is for the rest of your life. So don't worry too much about it. Give yourself a break. So again, if you want to do this, look up on Google nutritional content for the restaurant you're going to. When in doubt, just look for the menu. If not, you will have to do it on the fly in the restaurant. But this will help you to understand what you're going into and the food options available that are healthy to you. And then you don't have to track the nutritional content. If you can't, just write down what it is you're eating and you should be okay. So if you like this video, please share it on Facebook. Please share it on Twitter. And let me know in the comments how you deal with going out to dinner and eating while you're still trying to lose weight. How do you track it? Do you track it at all? Do you track your calories? Is it working for you? Is it not working for you? Please let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you later.